Hello. Glass of cannabis. It's been a glorious year. I want someone in here to stand to their feet and tell me their best way to smoke. Who will it be? You want what's your name, girl?
Not him. It don't really matter when we all agree. What's your best way to smoke? Cause I'm rolling it up. Smoke like I ain't had enough. What's your best way to smoke? Cause I'm rolling it up. Smoke like I ain't had.
What's up with y'all out there? This is the Best Way to Smoke podcast, and you smoking with Big J.
And Serpo Jr. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and tell a friend.
Yes, please do that. We want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in and chop it up with us, that leave comments, that's involved with us doing this podcast, because we definitely gonna keep coming with some good information and different things. Hopefully y'all fuck with it and share it with your friends and pass it on and stuff like that, though, man. But we just want to say thanks to all the supporters and stuff, though.
Respect.
Yep. So look, we're gonna jump into the best way to smoke tip before we jump into the show. And the tip is, okay, as we know, this is best way to smoke, though.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not all about smoking. You know, some people indulge in the edibles, and it's a lot of people that, you know, haven't jumped into the realm of the edibles and shit like that, though. So just be careful of your dosage, you know, because if you take too much, you know, you might get real tired. You might even wig out a little bit, though. It just depends on your makeup.
Mm-hmm. I agree to that, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, at home, I think I like to make, you can call it an overdosage.
Wow.
Because if I'm kicking it, I'm at the house, I'm going to smoke my bud. If I got my edibles and this, that, and the other, I'm going to overdose it because I'm finna get the best little rest.
On the real.
You know, but it's like if you are out like in the social scene, definitely watch that dosage because you don't want to be like one of them persons be like, man, this is some bug crap. Eat another one, and then eat some more, and then next thing you know, you just in la la land somewhere. Like,
sure.
what the?
Stuck.
You know what I'm saying?
Stuck.
So most definitely watch your dosage.
So yeah, look, we want to give a shot while we talking about edibles. It's a drink that we both tried. CQ, it's an infused cannabis beverage. This right here is wild berry guava agua fresca. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good drink. It tastes good, though. You know, we added a little bit of that Lazy Bone, 1,000 milligram syrup to it too, though. You know, to boost it up a little bit, though.
The best way to drink. And yeah, don't take them edibles and all this other stuff for granted. Don't think it's you know what I'm saying, they like some little old punks and stuff like that because we be smoking that good OG and all that. And then you want to go and just eat some gummies or like drink some aqua and all that.
It'll
and
put
think
you on
it
your
ain't
ass.
nothing. Watch that dosage.
For sure. It'll put you on your ass. So that's the best way to smoke tip. So we finna jump into it, though. We're going to talk to y'all a little bit about cannabis stocks and maybe 3 cannabis stocks that you should try to avoid, or you should probably just take a look at and get some information from it. So yeah, this is a clip from Motley Fool, the Motley Fool, and it's talking about, you know, the cannabis stocks. So look, as shown by the advisory share pure U.S. cannabis ETF, losses of more than 65% in the past 12 months. And like me personally, I'm invested in all 3 of these. And I'm just kind of holding on to see if it's going to pop back up and give it a chance, because I know with this federal decriminalization and legalization, that's kind of like the slow up, though. But it's like this should say, you can invest 5,000 and it can turn into 500. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But shit, if you hold on, you know, that 500 might could bounce back up or go past it, though. With some of this stuff, though, it's just about paying attention and really knowing when to pull, because sometimes you do got to pull about them stocks.
Yeah, true. And it's like I'm on the same boat with you because I ain't invested in all 3, but I know Aurora and the Sundial. It made the little top 3 little list, and that's what I have a little something up in there.
Right.
And like just as you say, you may see it going down, and you may looking at like, geez, 5,000. I'm expecting to at least get 10,000, 15,000 or something, but you talking about I'm getting 500, I'm losing.
Yep.
and that'll make you be like, man, I'm straight on this. But it's like you never know what this is trending for. Why is it trending down? But marijuana is going to be trending up. We still fighting for this. We still fighting for that. So it's like at certain times, yeah, you have people coming in getting like the quick money, the quick investments. You know what I'm saying? I want to make a quick flip. But it's like the long haul. You never know where Aurora or Sundial, and it's like I forget the name of the
Tilray.
the other one, yeah, Tilray. You never know where these markets will be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, because it's like we're still on an upward fight for the legalization of marijuana. It ain't just like be coming up with just up out of the blue about marijuana legalization, marijuana topics, whatever it may be. So it's like marijuana is still trending upward. So just because a stock may be going down, it's like, all right, it just may be recessed right now.
Yep.
But when it's time to get back in class, it's like everything is like it's going to be everything. So it's like once you're dealing with certain stocks, it's like however you want to do it. If it's with cannabis, if it's with water,
right?
You know what I'm saying? As you said, you got to know when to pull out. You got to like know your stock, read about your stock, see what they doing, see if it's even worth the wait. Because even though you may try to come in with like a 5-10 year plan, it may not even work.
It might not work.
You know what I'm saying? It might not be that worth. So that goes into like what you say, like know your stock.
So yeah, you definitely want to have an understanding. So look, we're gonna talk about Aurora Cannabis. So like Aurora Cannabis is down by like 96% in the last 3 years. So they had a point, like when I invested, it was at a number and it kind of went up a little bit, a few percent, and it went back down. So while it has many issues, perhaps the most dangerous one for shareholders is the habitual overly optimistic communication style. You know what I mean? So for example, Aurora claims to be the Canadian-based company with the highest adjusted gross margin, beating the likes of giants like Tilray Brands, NASDAQ Tilray, among others. But when looking at the non-adjusted gross margins of its competitors, the story is entirely different. So basically what that sounds like to me is like they playing with the numbers too. They playing with the numbers and making it seem like they doing more than what they doing. And it's not working. So eventually they just got to be honest and shit and
it could
put that shit out there. You know what I mean?
It could be a promotional thing too though. It's like they may have like a good promotional team and it's like they had a vision or whatever it may be. So they promoted it so good to where it's like, all right, you're not even meeting that standard. Where it's like the others, it's like, all right, we out here, this is our plan, this is what we plan to do, whatever it may be.
Right.
It may make this, it may not make this.
Right.
And it's like over here on the other side, it just, you may promise certain things to people like, all right, once we reach this point, this is going to be this. Once we reach that point, it's going to be that. That didn't come. So therefore, it's making it look as if like, use a big flop.
Yep. And then just like the other stocks, they probably doing too much. They probably got their hands in too much different shit to where they not just focused on one thing, and that might make shareholders get a little scared, like, damn, they don't even know exactly what they focus is or what they, who they trying to attack or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, that'll pull somebody up out of it. Like Sundial Growers is another much watched cannabis stock, and I'm invested in that.
Me too.
That's liable to turn thousands into hundreds, though it's significantly better off than Aurora because it doesn't have any debt. Its trailing 12 months revenue grew by just over 5.9% in the last 3 years, reaching more than $50.7 million, which is quite slow for competing in a rapidly growing industry like cannabis. In the same period, its trailing 12 months gross profit declining by 100%.
With this one right here, in my opinion, of course, I'm invested in this one too, though. But it's like the growing demand is kind of hard, I would say, because it's like growers, they got to go through certain things, taxes, city taxes, state taxes, other behind the the same things that we
talk about,
like we unaware of all the way. So it's like by them being invested in certain growers, and it's like for them to produce that out, it's kind of slow and backed up right there.
Right.
But it's like I kind of feel like 5-10 years from now that this is going to be a cool one, in my opinion.
Right.
If they stay solid, in my opinion, with the growers, this, that, and the other, keep that solid and stay focused in that area.
Right.
I believe this one right here is something that'll like come up and is for the long term of it. Because like I said earlier, marijuana is still on an upward battle.
Right.
It's not like it's going down. So it's like once we finish the little hurdles, this, that, and the other, like I said, come back in from recess and get back to work.
Mm-hmm.
I feel this is something that'll flourish, even though it appears as if it may be going down.
Yeah. And the biggest hurdle right now that we dealing with is the fucking federal legalization, decriminalization.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest holdup, and that's what we waiting on. And like we talk about all the time, it's like they already making money off the shit now, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like, why should we do it now? You know, they probably benefiting on some of these gray areas that still exist.
Not probably, they have.
Yeah,
benefited.
right. That we can't, or you know, other people can't benefit off of. So to me, it just seemed like it's not really no rush to go there, because once they do, it opens up so many doors. And if they do it in the realm of the MORE Act, you know, the bill that we talk about all the time, then it would be such a benefit for, you know, people like us, you know, to help, you know, just anybody that want to get into the industry that has been affected by it, that has like, you know, been incarcerated from it. You can get out. You can even pass it on to your child, you know, your brother, your sister, or something like that. They got all kind of programs that's attached to that MORE Act, you know. But just like Tilray brands. Me personally, I believe Tilray is like the one. You know, I think all the other ones are cool, and I'm gonna stay invested. I'm gonna hold on and just see where it go, because that was money that I actually gained from another investment that I just took to invest in this. So it wasn't like something that, you know, I need, you know, or I'm in dire need of or whatever. You know what I mean? But unlike the other two cannabis cultivators discussed above, Tilray might be resolving its struggles, and that's what makes it particularly tempting. With the largest market share in Canada, over 613.2 million in trailing 12 months revenue, and a thin but positive profit margin. It's almost starting to look like an appealing investment. But much like Sundial Growers, its focus is quite divided, which could be a problem. I can't see that though, but which could be a problem ultimately tanks the stock price. You know what I mean? But and that's what I'm saying. Like if a lot of these companies, like Tilray, like Sundial, if they put their focus in on okay, we gonna concentrate on growers and growing and we gonna be in that realm. Or okay, we gonna concentrate on harvesting and getting into the dispensaries and all that kind of shit like that. We gonna concentrate on this, just, you know, cannabis stores and stuff like that. Then I think that should have skyrocket though. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Shit, we never know. They might be making a hell of a profit off what they doing, but it's just so divided in what their direction is that it scared people off from investing in it. They might be hella profitable. As we see, they are hella profitable, but it's not hitting them numbers for shareholders, and it's, you know, scaring people off.
Yeah. I know some people probably out there like, man, what is these dudes talking about? Like, yeah, I'm still invested in this. They going all the way down. But it's like you said something key right there when you came into Tilray. It's like it was some earnings that you got from here and you brought over here to this place. And it's like what that is, it's like me, with some of the ones that I have in there, it wasn't money that was like, oh, so desperately needed.
Right.
So it's like I need this profit to come up off of this bread that I'm putting up in here.
Right.
So it's like once you get to the point to where it's like you can mess off like, all right, $200 right here. Right. I'm just gonna take this $200. Really, I'm just gonna smoke on something.
Right.
But what if I put this $200 right here, and then it's like, all right, I probably can get $400, $600. or it may go down into like, you know what I'm saying, $5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's like the key point there is it's like I had it right there and it wasn't going to be a hindrance. So it's like if you're going into like any of these stocks, whether it's you big wig or whether you just like small timing, you know what I'm saying? Like really make sure that you can actually do it. Don't go
Sure.
inside of this and like really be like solely dependent on like, oh, sundial, they need to hit this mark for me to like have something. Don't go in it that way. Just go in and be like, all right, man, I got $20 that I'm like really ain't finna do nothing
Right.
with. So let me see what this is gonna be. You never know. Your dub may turn into like 20,000. Your
Right.
dub may go into like negative 20.
Right.
But the key factor that I'm trying to put out there to you is just make sure you have that leeway. Don't go into there depending on something. Big J told you.
Yep.
I won something from right here, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, all right, this caught my eye. Let me take this over here and let me put it right there. This is no hurt.
No hurt.
This is all something that I gained from something that I was just like trying to learn something about.
Yep.
So just make sure you can have that leeway. So if something do go down, something do go up, you still have the time to learn about it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Don't look. Basically, in so many words, don't invest your rent money and your bill money and shit
Basically.
like that. You know what I mean? Because you might be assed out because it's a risk, though. But at the same time, it's like shit. If you don't take a risk, you'll never win.
Mhm.
That and that goes with anything. So it's just like leading into these cannabis companies that's looking to sue the federal government. If you don't take a risk, you can't win. So it might be a risk for them doing what they're doing. And a lot of them, they haven't even been named. You know, the cannabis companies that's suing right now. You know, it's on the
Like
low, but
big
it's some
wig.
of the largest companies. So I could just kind of imagine which ones there are. So it's like, marijuana companies teaming up to sue federal government with all-star legal firm, multi-state operator, CEO says. So several leading marijuana businesses and stakeholders are banding together to sue the federal government over what they believe to be unconstitutional policies impeding their operations. According to the CEO of one of the companies, and he says they've retained a prominent law firm led by an attorney who has been involved in numerous high-profile federal cases. That's some shit.
I kind of like that because it's like if they teaming up, if you have like marijuana, like leading marijuana business holders and like high stakeholders, they banding together to fight federally for marijuana. That goes with what I'm saying. It's like marijuana, we still on an uphill battle.
Yep.
So it's like that's kind of like looking kind of good for us,
Yep.
depending on actually what they trying to get in there and get done.
Yeah.
We already know we on a battle to like really take marijuana off that Schedule I list to decriminalize that.
Yep.
For male, female, brothers, sisters here and there that just been falling victim for a joint, a nickel bag of weed or
Yep.
whatever it may be. We trying to like get that washed away.
Out
So
of
it's-
here.
So if that's the point of this little team up, that's cool. And it's like if you go along in the article, just in the second paragraph, like there have been various attempts to append federal prohibition through the court system. But what makes this emerging effort especially notable is that the coalition of multi-state operators in the cannabis industry will apparently be represented by the firm Boyce Scheller Flexner LLP.
Yeah.
I hope I'm pronouncing that all the way right. You know what I'm saying? But it's Boyce Scheller Flexner LLP. And like what makes that like cool because it's like they based out in New York. They have 15 different offices with over 170 attorneys working for them. They done been in like high big wig cases, United States versus Microsoft. They fought with a
That's
case
big.
with Vice President Gore against Bush. It's like they done been in some big time little situations or whatever it may be.
Right.
So it's like they come out on the upper hand of it.
Right.
So it's like they do their research, they they appear to be thorough.
Right.
So it's like if they coming over here and they teaming up with big marijuana business and high stakeholders, that's like a good look for the marijuana and the cannabis community.
Look, and depending on when it, goes to trial or goes to court, if it does, if it does before November, that might be big for the vote, on the Senate, to decriminalize it. If this so happens to go in, I mean, it could take a long time because sometimes, when you sue somebody or the fucking federal government, that shit might take years to resolve. You know what I mean? So, but I just hope it can be a help to shed some light on, shed some light on it though. All right, one lawsuit will take aim at the federal ban on intrastate marijuana commerce and contest. The constitutionality, the constitutionality of the Controlled Substance Act, CSA, under a unique interpretation of the Commerce Clause of the Constitution. In part, the plaintiffs will make the case that prior court rulings on federal government authority over intrastate commerce, particularly concerns fungibility, should not apply to marijuana companies in highly regulated state legal markets. The federal government's position on its influence over intrastate commerce has been largely based in market fungibility, or the fact that just because a given item is grown in one state, it can still affect prices in other states, and therefore the feds still have jurisdiction over intrastate industries under the Commerce Clause. So that's something that, we learning about right now too, though, as far as with the Commerce Clause. So with the federal government having so much control over everything, and like you said earlier, with it being a Schedule I drug, it just makes it hard. It makes it hard for these cannabis businesses to operate. And it seems like the light, because it's other people in there, like it's big business now. It's like big business. So the light is definitely gonna get shined on it brighter than what it would be a few years ago when it wasn't so much dominated by bigger business. Because that's mainly what's really out there. It's a small percentage of small businesses, that's out there, but it's mainly big business that has control over everything right now.
Yeah, and it's like by this little interstate thing and stuff like that, it's like we all know, like we from the West Coast. We all know that the best weed come from the West Coast. I ain't putting no shine or nothing on no other state or whatever it may be. They got they good. Right. But we all know the best come up out of the West Coast.
For sure.
So it's like by some of the legalizations and stuff over here in California, we already know like some of our stuff is at a high demand. But then again, on the flip side of that, it's like the pricing to dispute to go out. Say it's like I'm trying to dispute something out here in Arizona, but then I want something to go out here to Tennessee. Right. The prices and stuff may like fluctuate due to certain taxes for this state. Then you going through this state, that state, and another state, and you transferring something legal that's over here, but it may not always be legal here.
Right.
So it's like for the fight right there, it's like with this to become like federally legal, it's like the good stuff, it'll continue to be put out there, and it wouldn't just be like so rare to where it's like you go to certain states that don't have access to this. That's where some of the little bull like come in at, because it's like, all right, you got the good, the loud, however you want to phrase it, but we don't got it over here. We got the connect over here. That may want somebody to like come knock you upside your head for something.
For sure.
But it's like if we got this stuff like really like federally legalized, and you got people like trying to do it like the right way, so to say, that we trying to do it, a whole lot of stuff will be like, calm down. You know what I'm saying? And we won't have that negative like stigma over marijuana users, weed smokers. You know what I'm saying? So
And the crazy part about it, man, you know, it's a lot of people that don't smoke though, but it's probably some of the people that's opposing certain things. They probably go home and get high as a motherfucker, man. You know, and then once the edibles really hit, oh, you can just drink this. You ain't got to smoke nothing.
man,
You know what I mean? But
and you still part of it. And if you do it that way, you still part of the cannabis community. Just because you ain't smoking it, don't mean you're not in it then. So as soon as you crack that drink, you know, eat that piece of brownie, whatever it is. Because nowadays I've been watching these little shows. They got these exquisite meals.
Oh, for sure.
You know, that's cannabis infused. You know what I mean? So, man, you're part of the cannabis culture. Like, learn about it.
Okay, the second lawsuit that is in Works will make similar arguments, but focus on the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS.
Mm-hmm.
You know, code known as 280E, which precludes cannabis businesses from claiming federal tax deductions because under the CSA, they are trafficking in a controlled substance. So now that shit right there is crazy, and that's a big part why it needs to be federally legalized because, okay, a lot of states, you know, kind of have their own laws with it, on regulate it the way that they want to regulate it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the federal government still has they buy into that, right? So, you know, in some kind of way, it's federal taxes that you got to pay and shit like that too, though. So I'm wondering if, even though it's still federally criminalized, if they're still collecting a tax on it. If they still are collecting some kind of tax on it though, but that shit right there shouldn't be that way. It should be accessible for everybody that's in the industry and legit companies to be able to get their proper tax deductions, and you know, when they file their taxes and shit.
They get their taxes because it's like the legal ones. Like we done talked about them before. We done shot them out. What was it? The Jungle Boys.
Jungle Boys, yep.
Their little get down over there. It's like they had their little paperworks together.
Legit, yep.
My feeling is like if you paying your taxes, you paying the electricities and all that old good stuff that you use in state, federal, however it may be. They saying you can't file it on your IRS taxes, the income part of it. But it's like I feel they getting their money all throughout there, whichever way the passes, the certificates, the taxes, all that old good stuff.
The fines,
the raids that they come in and just mess up people's properties, the product, all of that stuff. They're getting paid right then and there, you know. So it's like when it come time to get the money back, this is why it's like I kind of like the farmers and stuff now,
right?
Because it's like it all falls back really on them. Right. Because they're the ones who putting out this good product for, say, a certain, I'm just gonna say the best way to smoke OG to be produced.
Right.
We got the name and everything else. We supplying it all or whatever it may be. This is just hypothetically speaking.
Right.
But it's like we have a grower and a farmer behind us that have to pay their taxes. They have to pay their fees, state, county, however it may be. So they're getting a cut. Mm-hmm. But when it's time for them, that farmer, to get that hard work back, that's where it's coming into a problem at.
Right.
No, I'm not finna give you no money that's on our Schedule 1, right, trafficking and all this, that, and the other.
Right. Yep.
It's a limit to it. So,
yep. And just like we was talking about with the different states and stuff like that. So you come to California, you might get some tree that's you might get a pound that's just say $3,000 for the pound, right? So now you go to this other state where they don't have this quality of weed, that shit might go to $3,500. Mm-hmm. You know, damn near $4,000 or something for the pound. So and then with the taxes that's in play, it's going to automatically be taxed differently. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, they got to figure out some way to
that's true,
man,
though.
just fucking look. I'm gonna look into the camera. Just fucking legalize this shit. Federally legalize it. Let these people out of jail, and let these businesses be able to collect federal taxes, income taxes, and let us people that want to get into the industry and be productive in the industry, let us get up in there and do what we got to do.
Man, we gotta cheer for that. Big J just told y'all.
For
Man,
real, man.
You, it's not that hard.
Cause it's frustrating though. Like it's really frustrating when you an advocate. We cannabis advocates and shit though. You know what I mean? And we also are in the business in our way.
Mm-hmm.
And wanting to get into the business, and we want to have a best way to smoke dispensary. We want to have best way to smoke distribution. We want to have different things that's tied to this industry that we love and this product that we like to indulge in so many different ways. And it's just waiting on the federal government. And it's another bill. I gotta find what this bill is though, but it's another bill to where they saying that just states can just regulate it. No more federal nothing with it. It'll just be the states regulating it how they want to regulate it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hearing. We'll talk about it next time. No, but I'm hearing that they shut that down already though. Like they don't even want to vote on that, or nothing like that though. So because the feds want they cut. So that bill was basically saying like, okay, well leave us the fuck alone and let us take care of this shit.
That's cool. It's like you want to federally ban it, but you still want to cut if we federally unban it. It's like, what do you want?
Right. Just get your cut. Just get your cut. Just come on and get your cut and let the shit be what it's gonna be, man. Because it'll be better for a lot of people. Yeah, it'll go a little bit more mainstream.
We in America, it'll be better for America. Legalize weed. A lot of people will probably not be getting so drunk. They probably wouldn't be going to go shoot up no motherfucking schools. Because they probably being too high, you know what I'm saying? They got the munchies, playing a video game, or building some good positive technology or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's real. So look, we want to talk about a black woman in cannabis. That's pioneering and moving how she moving. So the topic is that. Well, let's give a shout out to who wrote this article. It's Louis Beckett. It's from The Guardian. So the black women redefining California's cannabis market, one curated store at a time.
When Kika Keith and her daughter opened a dispensary in South Los Angeles last year, they faced a design challenge. How could they create a store where older black customers who had seen all the ravages of the war on drugs would feel comfortable making the purchase? Now, just before I go on to the next one right there, it's like they saying like, how could what feel comfortable making a purchase? Meaning like, where could a cannabis user go to feel comfortable to make that purchase?
Older
people. And like how you just stated before, best way to smoke, that's what we're trying to grow to do. We're trying to make it to where it's like you can have proper cannabis use inside of a close-knit community to where it's like you don't have to worry about this, you don't have to worry about that. There's activities to go on, this, that, and the other. It's just like a cool, chill environment.
Sure.
And that's what the mother and daughter duo was trying to do here, you know what I'm saying, back when. Right. And this is cannabis from back when. So this is their vision, and this is something that Best Way to Smoke see us doing. And like it had been a tough battle for Keith to open a dispensary as a black woman in a post-legalized marijuana market where most of the business owners had become white men. Mm-hmm. She and her daughter, Kika Howes, wanted their store, Guerrilla RX Wilderness Company, CO, to reflect their focus on neighborhood investment in their hip-hop. Oh, I'm kind of stuck on that.
Aesthetic.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Big J.
For sure. You see, I was getting stuck too a little earlier. We high, man, so it is what it is. We get it out to y'all though.
Sure. But most definitely the message that they're trying to do is it's like they have their culture.
Right.
So by them being indulged in their culture, they want to present this to the world. And it's like in the beginning, it was to an older crowd to come feel comfortable. Because of course, it's like I was part of the young people like in it when they first like came out with the little marijuana cards or whatever it may be for recreational use. You go up in here, you get the first time patient thing. It's like when that came around, that was like fun. It's
Niggas
like,
was hitting spots
man,
though,
it was certain days, you know, I fill my gas tank up, man. I'm going out here from San Bernardino and just drive my way on back and just hitting like different dispensaries. I had my little magazine, little Hot Time magazines that had a little coupon. I was like really having fun. And it was full of like younger people.
On the real.
And by us being younger people, we can kind of like be like inconsiderate, you know, for me being a younger person. So with this vibe right here, it's like the mother-daughter duo, they just wanted for the older, for our elders to go somewhere because our elders was using this shit before us.
Right.
You know, so it's like, and I like the whole theme of it because it's marijuana, like where you go purchase it, it's like by you having it on a Schedule 1 list, you got certain people that's not marijuana users thinking you finna go in the back alley, you know what I'm saying, knock 2 times and be like, you know what I'm saying, to try to get a bag of weed when it's not that.
Right.
You know, so they trying to make it to where it's like you can see it. It's like it's coming in, it looks relaxing.
And inviting.
You know, it don't look scary. It don't look wrong.
Yeah. See, and the thing too is like, you think about older people. A lot of older people stuck in their ways. You know, I've been getting my tree from Big Mike up the street for 15 years or whatever, you know. So they a lot of them don't want to go to the dispensaries and probably don't go to the dispensary. So in the same aspect of what, you know, of what we talking about or what you saying as far as just because of the younger crowd might not be as accepting to having the older people around or like courteous to them and shit like that. So just in that same aspect, it's like a lot of them are stuck in their ways and they not going to the dispensaries and stuff. So I definitely think it's dope too because they catering to cannabis users, but they making it comfortable for older people to want to come in too. You know what I mean? For every it's open for every kind of cannabis user, but they want to make the older black people feel comfortable to come in. Yeah, like this is we here for you too, because we might have something that can help you. You might not want to. You might want to take a break from smoking for a little while. So,
and I like that.
You're right. We might have something that can help you. You know, get to where you want to get to, type shit. You know,
me, I'm in the younger crowd. I consider myself in a younger crowd or whatever it may be. But it's like I like this because my mama, shout out to my mama, I love you, mama.
Shout out, auntie.
But it's like, yeah, she's stuck in her ways. She like one of the ones be like, man, I go get mine, you know what I'm saying, from up the streets neat. But at the same time, she like to get dolled up and go out, you know? And it's like she like to go to different dispensaries. And she likes to talk to the people.
Yeah.
All right, what's this right here? Can you tell me what is this?
Right.
She like her little edibles and stuff like that. She like to go out and do these things. So it's like once I see this right here and I see like the sisters is making it to where it's like that experience can happen, it's like, oh, it's a whole nother growing appreciation because I'm going to be like, mama, look.
Go to this one. Go check them out.
You know what I'm saying? Go check them out over there. They cater to this. They cater to that. You know, so it's like I kind of like I dig that and I appreciate that because my mama, shout out to my mama again. I love you, mama.
For sure.
And she like to go and indulge in this type of scenery. So it's like if she can go somewhere and she see other people are her peers, them will be her peers in there just, you know, enjoying themselves, getting their little medicine or whatever it may be, getting their little joke on. Because, you know, they got their little jokes or whatever it may be. They ain't like us.
Definitely, most
you
definitely.
know, like some of our youth, it's like their generation. They can say, hey, how you doing? And they can crack this little joke getting their little medication. So it's like you getting a good feel while you in there. You meeting other personnel while you in there. And you can just be you while you in there. So shouts out to the sister, the mother-daughter duo.
Yep, that's a big fact. And as you were saying that about auntie going to check them out, we got to go check them out too.
Yes,
we gotta go pull up on them because we gotta get an interview with them. You know.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm gonna put that out in the atmosphere though. You know, we're gonna reach
Yeah.
out and get an interview with them. I think it'll be a dope sit down. You know.
Yeah, and don't forget that's like their aim because it's like they have their hand put in a lot of like high value dispensaries that's like welcoming to where you go in and you'll be like, oh, like man, this is like, you know what I'm saying, the stoner
Feeling
place
good.
to be.
Yeah.
Like, man, I want to come here and get my cannabis here. I want to come here and get my medicine here.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like they have the mindset and they have their vision behind a lot of these dispensaries that's welcoming.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I like that because
sure.
it bring a whole positive vibe to the cannabis community. It's nothing you cannot go, and I'm gonna say it, you cannot go to nothing that this mother and daughter duo has put their hands on and go in there and have you can be having the shittiest day. You can walk up in one of these places and just be, man, I'm uplifted.
Yeah.
And I'm only seeing this through the lens of social media and this, that, and
what
the
we're
other.
seeing. Yep. Yep. But yeah, it's definitely something we gonna check out and dig into. We coming to the end of this wonderful show.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
and we
indeed.
both high as a motherfucker. We finna take our smoke break. You know, we still working and stuff though. But look, thank y'all for tuning in to the Best Way to Smoke podcast. This is Big J.
And Surfo Jr. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share the video. And tell a friend.
Tell a friend.